Hello everyone, welcome to what we will call our Merry Christmas Mat class. You might want to grab, just in case you find you might want it to pad your head or your knees or your wrists, a small towel just to have it handy, so if you want to grab that now before we get started. As always, look after yourself. You know best what your body feels like, so listen to that, let that be part of your practice. How do things feel on the day? I will offer a few options as we move along, and you pick what feels best for you, as I said, on the day, in the moment. All right, we're going to get started down on our back. So go ahead and come on down. You might find, if you know you like your head propped up, you can do that. Those of you that are used to moving with us on the reformer, if you know you like to have your head rest up, here's where you might want to have the towel underneath your head. Have your feet a little bit away from your hips. We're going to have our arms resting alongside us. And we're going to start with a handful of big breaths in and out. And I'm just allowing myself to sort of notice where I am. I'm on this mat in this room. I'm letting my mind come into this experience, scanning what it's like around my head. I'm going to readjust my head to allow my chin to drop in towards my throat a little bit more. I'm talking, of course, but I'm also going to do that with minimal tension in my jaw. I'm going to allow my eyes to be soft, my eyebrows to be soft. At the moment, my arms aren't doing a whole lot, so they're just being held by the floor beneath me. And as I'm taking these initial intentional big breaths in and out, I can feel the rise and fall of chest and abdomen. Just noting that. I can feel the contact of my feet with the floor beneath me. My big toes, my little toes, my heels. I'm going to take one more exaggerated breath in and out again. And then from there, I'm going to, with the awareness of my feet, I'm going to press into my feet. It's a little bit like I'm trying to slide the mat out from underneath me for a moment as I start to make my way up into a bridge. And then I'm just going to allow myself back down out of it. You do that a few times. So I'm standing into my feet. There's a moment where I'm almost pushing the mat like it could slide out from underneath me as I come up and drape back down. And with each bridge I'm moving through, I'm just seeing what it would be like for my body today to maybe find a little bit more height in the room, but also length from sort of chest to knees. And while I start my bridge, almost sending the mat out from underneath me, this next time I'm in my bridge, I'm going to take a pause in the bridge. And now imagine I'm going to try to scrunch the mat back underneath me. And this helps me feel connection into the backs of my legs. And while I pause here in this bridge, I'm going to reach my left arm up and over. And then I'm going to switch right arm up and over, like I'm doing a little kind of swim here. And I'm breathing. So at the moment, my feet are connected into my mat. My legs are behaving as if they're trying to scrunch the mat underneath me. You can feel my legs. I'm feeling the stillness through my torso, and I'm moving around my shoulders a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Both of my arms are going to come down, and I'm going to allow myself out of the bridge, and then I'm going to shimmy my feet a bit wider than my mat. I'm going to reach my arms wide, and then I'm going to rock my knees one way and then the other way. My eyes are going to start to look the opposite direction of my knees because that works for me. And while we're moving around our hip joints here, we're also moving around our trunk. Again, those of you that move with us in our reformer class, we do this a lot after bridging in reformer class. Okay, from here, I'm going to walk my feet back to where they were. I'm going to reach my arms up towards the ceiling. I'm going to bring one leg up, followed by the other. Okay, from here, I'm going to reach my right arm overhead like it just did in my bridge, and I'm going to reach my left leg long towards the wall ahead of me, or towards the end of the mat. And then back to where I came from, and I'm going to switch. The back of my body it's kind of that idea of like it's being held by the mat or cradled by the mat. So we know that the mat is on a flat surface, that's fine. I'm just kind of imaging that my body is in this really subtle hammock as opposed to a flat surface. The next time I've extended an opposite arm and opposite leg, I'm going to hold this for about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'll switch to the other side. And what I'm watching for is my ability to maintain that feeling of being subtly held by my imaginary hammock or cradle. So I'm avoiding the arch or the rainbow shape and instead aiming to keep that cradled alignment. I'm going to go one more time with the hold. So my first pair of limbs. 5, still breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1, other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to hug my knees in. And I'm going to suggest a transition. If this works for you, wonderful. You can join me. If it doesn't work for you, you can roll onto your side. We're going to come up to kneeling on our hands and knees. So we're going to, if you'd like to try it with me, we're going to roll up, rolling like a ball. If that won't work for you, roll onto your side and come up that way. Otherwise, we've got our hands near our knees or our shins. As I breathe out, I'm going to bring my chin in and I'm going to rock forward and back a couple times. Forward and back. It's like my body is trying to meet the insides of a bubble or a balloon. Forward and back. Forward and back. And then from there, I'm on to my hands and knees. So I'm going to walk my hands up the mat a little bit and my knees back the mat a little bit. And really simply, I'm going to shift my weight back and then shift my weight forward. Shift my weight back, shift my weight forward. You're going to go as far back as feels right for you, around shoulders, hips, knees, and back. Same in the forward direction. If it works for you to allow your hips to gently drop down and roll the shoulders gently back, go for it. If that doesn't feel right, limit how far you come forward. And then I'm going to do a couple with both of my hands this is the right side of my mat. And as I go back, I'm going to angle actually to my left. So I'm on a diagonal. Back left, forward right, a little bit like I'm about to round a corner. Back left, forward right. Back left, forward right. Then I'm going to go the other way. So hands come to the left. I'm going back right, forward left. Back right, forward left, back right, forward left, and then from there, I'm going to walk my hands so they're underneath me and my knees so they're underneath me. Now, similar to what we did lying on our back, I want to feel like I'm quite long from the crown of my head to my tail, as opposed to sort of sunken down or a little bit crowded or crunched. So I've got as much space from the top to the bottom as I can find. And I'm going to go, as I said, like we did on the when we're lying on our back. My left arm's going to reach forward. I'm turning my arm so my thumb points towards the ceiling, and my opposite leg is going to reach back, and then I'm coming down again. And then I'm going to switch. So it's like my torso is levitating in the same place in the room as my limbs do their thing. I'm going to avoid, as I'm moving my limbs, dropping towards the ground or, leaning off to one side, staying as still as I can. Of course, we're human bodies, not concrete blocks, So a little bit of movement may happen, and that's totally fine, but that's my general goal. Now I'm going to pause again, and I'm going to allow my right arm to drift right and my left leg to drift left, and then they're going to come back to where they came from. I'm going to do that 3 more times. Right arm right, left leg left, and back again. 2 more. I'm breathing in and out, in and out, and I lower down, other side. So my left arm and my right leg are reaching long, then they float out to the side, their respective sides, and then back to center. Out to their sides, back to center. 2 more. Out to their sides, back to center. Last one here, and back to center. And then I'm going to give myself a little cat stretch. And then I'm also going to give my wrists a little release by pressing the backs of my hands away from me. Okay, from there, I'm coming up to a tall kneeling position. So here, if you feel like it would be more comfortable, this would be a place where you could pop a towel underneath your knees. Okay, so this is called thigh stretch. We're going to be moving around the knee joint, and you will indeed feel a stretchy feeling around the thighs. Okay, I'm going to play around with the position of my feet, so you might notice that. You can follow along with me as I'm switching my feet, or you could go keep them just this way or just this way. Again, it's kind of like what will your feet tolerate and what will they cooperate with, okay? So I'm going to start with my toes not tucked. My tail feels like it's slightly down, fronts of my hips slightly up. And I'm going to lean back as my arms float forward, kind of like they're counterweights. And then I'm back to where I came from. And then the next time, I'm switching my toes. So now they're tucked under. So I'm going to float back as my arms come forward and up, and then I'm untucking my toes to go again. So I'm alternating my feet. What we want to avoid, what I would like you to avoid, is moving from your back. So this is less of a back bend and more of that lean, okay? So things to help us avoid the back bend would be, as you lean back, could it be like the front of your ribs are trying to fit down into your front pockets? You can also imagine, your actual eyes. Imagine you've got some on your collarbones and your hip bones. They're all looking to the same place in front of you, as opposed to your eyes here and here looking towards the ceiling, okay? I think I'm out of sync with my foot pattern. I'm gonna go 1 more of each. Untuck my toes and tuck my toes. So hopefully you're feeling that thighs. And again, go with what your body feels. Maybe you're finding you can go further back than I'm showing, maybe not as much. Go with how it feels for you. Okay, from there, we are down onto our front. So down you come. Slightly kick back your legs. So it's almost like I'm kicking my leg out of my hip joint a little bit. And I'm going to bring my hands a bit wider a bit wide of my shoulders, and I'm going as low to the floor as I feel that I can. And really simply then, I'm going to press the floor down with my arms to bring my head and my neck and my chest up, just to a range that feels comfortable. And this is similar to when we were bridging, in the sense that in this case, my hands are almost sliding the floor. It's like they're trying to slide the floor forward to bring me up. And then to bring me down, it's like they're sliding the floor back. Again, that's more of an idea than a reality, obviously. So they slide the floor forward to bring me up and down. So my arms are facilitating this lift up through my back and the down through my back. My arms are doing that for me. As I inhale, I'm imagining the front of my ribs fanning forward and open. And then as I exhale, they're deflating down and in. I'm going to go do that 1 more time. Forward and open through the front of the ribs, down and in through the front of the ribs. Next time I come up, we're going to add on And if this next bit doesn't suit, keep going with the first bit. I'm gonna come up, feeling my legs reaching back. So instead of them doing kind of just hanging out here, they're intentionally reaching to the end of my mat. I'm here. I'm going to take my hands away from the floor and see if the strength of my back can support me in at this height. So my arms are gonna reach out and then back down, and then I'm all the way down. So I'm coming up, reaching out, lowering down, all the way down. Up, out, down, and down. Then I'm gonna come up, reach out, tap down, lift up, back down. Up, out, tap down, up, and back down. So we're increasing the load for our back. Remember, it is normal for us to feel our back working. In the same way we love an old abdominal burn or a glute burn, a bit of a burn in the muscles in the back is okay. Sharp pain, not so much. A little bit of a burn, all good. Last one, you can stop at any time, by the way. Last one, we're gonna hold and pause. We're gonna roll our shoulders forward and back. So you can probably see my hands and wrists moving a lot. They're moving because I'm moving my upper arm bone forward and in, up and back. Forward and in, up and back. And I can for sure feel my back working here. Forward and in, up and back. One more, forward and in, up and back. And then I'm gonna bring my hands underneath me and press me up, tuck my knees again, and I'm gonna go into my cat stretch. So I'm taking a big breath in, allowing my back to puff up towards the ceiling. And then I'm gonna come up from there. Okay, next we're gonna do a little bit of kneeling core, okay? So again, if you wanna pad your knees, you are welcome to do that. We need to bring a leg out to the side. You can do this with a bent knee, it will still work, or a long leg if you've got that range around your hip joint. So what we want to do is reach our arms out, and we are going to lean, 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 lean until we find, what feels like a tipping point. I feel like if I go any further, I'll tip to the floor. And what I can feel is my core, so this is my right side, working a fair bit to sort of keep me here. Okay, and this is where I'm going to stay as I move my arms. Okay, so this here's where we're working. My arms are here, and I'm going to bring my arms to here, and I'm going to bring my arms to here, back to here, back to here, and then I'm going to come up. Okay, so that's our move. We're going to go out and look for our tipping point, tipping point, tipping point. Pause there, take the arms out, up, out, down, and back up. You can choose to keep the leg just like this if that's better for you as you go out, okay? We're going out, 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 or spin the leg in. Find your tipping point. Arms come up, overhead, out, down, and back up. Again, an option to modify. The further you bring your arms overhead, the heavier that load's going to be. So if it's feeling too heavy, just don't bring them as far overhead. Out, arms down, and we're back up. Last time like this, we're going out, arms out, arms overhead, arms out. And here we're going to see if we can just hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1 we're going to go to the floor, all the way to the floor, all the way to the floor. We're going to let this side that was working so hard stretch. So it's like my arm, this is my right arm, you're doing whichever side, is going to try to touch the ceiling. Sorry, not the ceiling, the floor, but these ribs are going to try to arch towards the ceiling. Big breath in to this top side. So again, that's my right lung, it might be your left, this top side, big breath in. And then around. Tuck that top leg in, and we're coming up. We're going to do the other side, okay? So other leg off to the side. You can start with the leg in that turn out with the knee back, or long leg. we're gonna find our tipping point. So I'm gonna lean, 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 lean. I'm finding I need to go possibly a little bit further on this side. You might be similar, or maybe not as far. See how you go. Then I'm bringing my arms wide and over, overhead, wide and up. Back to this start position. Out, reach, overhead, back to the side, down and up. Out, here we go, that's far. Now for me, reach, overhead, back out, down, and we're up. A few more on this side. Out we go. Remember, you can modify the leg position to suit your hip, your knee. Arms out, overhead, longest lever, heaviest load, arms out, arms down, up we come, out, keep going till you find that little biting point, arms to the side, overhead, out to the side, down as you come up. We're going to hold on this last one. So we go out, find your tipping point, your biting point, arms to the sides, overhead, back to the sides, and we're going to hold and hold for 5, 4, breathe, 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to go to the floor with that bottom hand. The top hand initially reaches towards the ceiling and then it scoops around. Now it's trying to touch the floor. This bottom arm wedge, it's like it's trying to wedge these top ribs up, up, up. Big breath into that top side. Circle around and down. Okay, then we're going to come onto our side in a laying down position. So you've got a couple choices. You can have your head propped for this first bit, or you can lay all the way down. Again, you could use your towel like a little pillow if that feels better or best for you. I'm going to be here for the moment. So I've got my knees bent, one hip on top of the other. Watch that top one isn't too far behind you. Stack up as best you can, knee on knee, hip on hip. And we've got a version of an exercise that I know lots of us are familiar with, our clam. So we're going to take the top, in our normal clam, the top leg comes up and down. So that's the same. But as our top leg comes up, our bottom leg is going to push the top leg up as well. So I tend to call this big clam. I don't know if that's really what it's called, but that's what we're going to do. So we're coming up and back down. What my bottom leg is trying to do, if you can imagine my thigh bone, it's spiraling. Maybe you can even see it. The top of it is spinning so it looks towards the floor as my top leg comes towards the ceiling. Okay, so both legs have a job to do. And I'm breathing. And I'm also avoiding, as I'm moving my legs, I'm avoiding rolling back. Okay, so as I'm moving from my hip joints, my trunk and my actual pelvis are staying pretty still. Last one there. Then I'm going to reach my top leg, which is my left, long. I'm going to flex at my ankle, lead with my heel to kick forward, point my foot to drag back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. 3, 2, and last one, forward and back. I probably lower the head if it was up for this next one. We're going to keep this leg here. Your bottom leg is going to come up to join the top. And then it's going to come back down again. And you're going to use this hand a little if you need it, or not at all if you don't, okay? And when I take that hand away, I just feel my core a bit more involved. I'm a more wobbly, but I feel more core. 3, 2, and last one here, leg up, and then both legs can come down, and I'm going to press myself up, and I'm going to have a little mermaid moment. Over to the side. I'm going to come to the other side as well. Getting long to stretch over, and getting long to stretch over. It's not lost on me that on this day that I've chosen to record this video, for all of us that there seems to be some sort of drilling happening. Apologies for the extra background noise, everyone, but such is life. Okay, let's bring the legs around and we're going to try those on the other side. So down we come again. It's your choice what feels best around the head and neck. We've got our legs bent. Make sure that sometimes to kind of troubleshoot if things aren't feeling quite right, watch that your legs are bent enough. If they're straight, there's not a lot of space to move. So aim for your knees towards the front of your mat and your feet towards the back of your mat. Okay, so we've got our top leg coming up, and as our top leg comes up, the bottom leg pushes the top leg up, like it's got a little load to carry. Up and down. And I noticed for myself, my head had come way forward. So as a reminder to all of us, check to see if your head can come back, kind of in line with the rest of your spine. And also have a check-in that you're breathing. And up. Remember that bottom thigh bone is spiraling, top of the leg looks towards the floor on the top end of the movement, and then straight ahead at the end. One more. Okay, your top leg is going to reach long. It's like it's going to go beyond the end of the mat. Flex the foot and ankle, kick it forward, point the foot, drag it back. Kick it forward, drag it back. Kick it forward, drag it back. Kick it forward, drag it back. Notice if your leg is starting to get a bit droopy towards the floor. Could it come up another little bit? Not that it has to be high. Just see if you can keep the outside of the leg same height as the outside of your pelvis. Last time. And then I'm keeping that leg reaching long. I'm going to lower my head, and my bottom leg is going to join my top and then back down again. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this without a hand on this side. I'll try. There we go. And down. Wobbles are okay. Up and back down. Up and back down. Last two. Last one. Back down. Top leg comes down. We're going to press ourselves up and again take that mermaid. So we're reaching towards the ceiling. So we're finding a lift up to arc over and then up to arc over. Last time each way. Up and over, up and over. Okay, we are going to return to our hands and knees for a moment. So, big strong handprints. It's like I'm trying to press the pads of my fingers into the mat, and also like I'm trying to make like almost like a suction cup effect with my with the palm of my hand. Okay, I'm gonna tuck my toes. I'm gonna hover my knees, and then I'm gonna lower my knees. So you could stick with that. Hover my knees, lower my knees. So we are working on some strength around upper body weight bearing, and a little bit of core. Next little layer, if you want to add on, is to hover the knees, take a step back, take a step back, take a step in, take a step in, lower down, and repeat that. So hover, step back, step in, lower down. And again, hover, step back, step in, lower down. We're gonna do that one more time, or you're just still hovering. Up and down, excuse me. Step back, tuck in, lower down. Then we're gonna push the floor away and we're sort of unfolding like an inverted V position. We're just gonna pedal out the feet, and if it works for your foot, roll all the way over to the top of your toes. See what the foot, the toes, the ankle will tolerate. pedaling out the feet. And then from there, I'm going to come back to my knees. I'm going to turn over, and we're going to finish much the way we started. So you're going to make your way down onto your back. I'm going to lengthen out my legs. Again, if you want your towel underneath your head, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to pick up a leg. Arms are wide. I'm going to bring it over to the other side. Play around with this. You might prefer how it feels with your knee bent. When I do that, I feel a little bit of a stretch on the outside of the hip. Or you might like what it feels like with a long leg. Again, it's a longer lever, so I actually feel more of a, feel this more in my back, but in a good way, encouraging more of a sense of a deeper twist. So you play around with it. I'm going to come over, and then I'm going to switch legs, okay? Over, bent knee, or moving towards a straighter leg. And then we're just going to move through that a few times. So not holding for very long. Breathing as you go, arms to support. Last time for me. And then I'm going to come back to center. So the leg that you have in the air, whichever one that is, we're going to aim to draw circles from that hip joint. So what we're concentrating on is the thigh bone moving. You can do this with a straighter leg. Many of us, the straighter the leg is, the less room we have to move in the hip joint. So you are welcome to bend your knee to give you more feeling of room to move. You just want to watch that it hasn't turned into a circle like from your shin or your knee joint somehow. We want it to come from the hip. So if in doubt, my suggestion is keep that knee fully bent, and it's like you're drawing on the ceiling with a pencil coming out of your knee. You can also use your arms to help stir that. And then we're going to go the other way around. So this would be like we're looking at just mobilizing that hip joint a little bit as opposed to strengthening it. And then let's change sides. Okay, so other leg. Again, we want to focus on moving the thigh part of you. It's going to go around and around. If you've got the freedom of movement, the mobility, the ease to go straighter with your leg, go for it. Again, we just want to make sure that the circle is happening from the root of the leg as opposed to the lower leg somehow. So that's what we want to avoid. We want root of the leg. Go the other way if you hadn't already. And then we're going to lower both legs. We're going to take a long, full body stretch. Biggest breath in yet today. And then you can bend your knees, feet a little bit wide, let the knees rest on one another. And then we're just going to finish here for a moment, have a check-in like we did at the start. What's it like around face, neck, jaw? Could you soften the back of the throat and the roof of the mouth? Could you get a sense of a lot of space from the top of the head to your tailbone below? Some freedom around rib cage. Freedom around the abdomen to allow your body to move as you breathe. What's it like around the legs? This is just a suggestion, by the way, for your setup. If you are more comfortable some other way, this can be quite supportive on your low back to have the feet wide and the knees resting. That's why I suggested it. But you do whatever feels right. Let's take one more gigantic breath in and let that go. And as you're in your own space, you are welcome to stay lying down. I am going to come up to say one more time, thank you and Happy Christmas. And I hope you feel good after moving with me a little bit. And we shall see you again soon.